Hello and welcome to Food for Thought. I'm your host, Dan Monroe, and as always, we're coming to you from the training kitchen here at the Greater Cleveland Foodbank Community Resource Center. Joining me right now is our chef du jour, Ms. Holly Davenport. Holly, thank you for coming back. Welcome.
Good morning, good afternoon. How are you?
What are we making today, Holly? What's the menu on the menu today?
So today, Dan, we are making a spicy kale and cabbage stir fry.
Now, one thing I should say about Food for Thought is the food that we're making is always healthy.
Always.
And generally very easy to make. And the food we're serving today comes right from
The market.
Market right here at the Community Resource Center.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
What do we got? Let's look at the ingredients, Holly.
Okay, so we have some canola oil, diced carrots, a vegetable seasoning, onions that have been roughly cut, chopped purple cabbage, regular cabbage. We have some serrano peppers. We have minced garlic, minced ginger, and red peppers.
So the serrano peppers, that's where we get the spicy from?
Absolutely.
Okay. And the ginger, I always thought ginger was interesting. It's actually good for digestion, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is, Dan. It's
But it
good
adds
for
that flavor
digestion.
to it as well.
And it contributes to the spiciness. It's not spicy, but if you add it collectively with the other ingredients, it gives it a little bit of kick.
Okay. All right. Well, we have our ingredients laid out. Let's go through step one.
Absolutely. So first we're going to heat the stove, turn it on, get that pan heated up. And I did forget to mention the kale. We have kale.
Kale's always important.
Always. Kale is good for vitamin K, which is good for your bones, your heart, and your health. It's good for your health.
It's all
altogether.
around good.
Right.
Yeah.
So first we're going to heat the oil.
Tell me a bit about canola oil. I know there's different types of oil. What is about canola oil that's so good?
Well, it's a vegetable. It doesn't have a lot of flavor, and it has a somewhat of a moderate temperature point.
Okay.
So it doesn't smoke really easy. You can actually fry in it as well.
Oh, good. Okay.
So we're going to add that. Get that going.
Okay.
And then the first thing we're going to do after the oil heats up is add the aromatics.
Okay.
And the aromatics would be the onion, the garlic, the ginger, because it's going to give you the aroma that we're looking for. So I'm going to just take this over here so that we can be neat and orderly.
Okay.
I'm going to add the garlic first.
And obviously you measured all this out ahead of time.
Absolutely. And it's all in the recipe.
Okay.
And by the way, this is one of my own recipes.
Oh, I like it. An original. I love it.
Yes. The neighbors love this. I made it earlier this week, and it was such a hit that I thought I would bring it back for Food for Thought.
So where'd you learn how to make this? Was this through old recipe or maybe some trial and error or things you like to eat?
It was actually things that were available in the market. And so I adapted them according to the things that I like to eat.
You can kind of walk through and get ideas of what you want to make as you're just walking through. Ooh, that looks good. We'll try some of that. Oh, I like that.
Absolutely. So we got that garlic and that ginger going. We're going to add our onions. Don't want to leave anything behind.
No vegetable left behind.
No vegetable left behind. Smell that?
How do you get around the onions? Because I have a hard time with onions, like with the way they irritate my eyes. What's some techniques for that? How do you deal with that?
Well, you can peel them under cold water.
Okay.
And just put on a sad song, and then it won't matter.
Is it true lighting a candle can burn off some of those fumes, or is that?
I don't know. I might have to try
Oh well,
that.
then we might learn something new.
Lighting the candle. So you get your smell. You get a couple of different flavors. So next, I'm going to add my diced carrots in.
Okay.
This is very colorful. This is a very
well, I like color when
dish.
it comes to food. I've said that before. I think color is key.
Dan, I think you like food.
I do like food, but it's always good to have every color of the rainbow represented as much as you can.
Absolutely. One of the programs that comes here, they put out charts, and it has all the vegetables, and they ask the neighbors to put a sticker if they're eating the rainbow colors. And it's a great learning tool, but it's also a great inspiration. If you're not getting enough or something, you know you need to add more to your diet. So as those are cooking down, want them to get tender, I'm gonna add my red peppers,
Love red peppers.
which came out of my garden, by
Ooh.
the way.
I like to take a red pepper, cut it up, and eat it for a nice snack.
Oh, that's
good
good,
as a
Dan.
snack, yeah.
I need dip or something.
Well, ranch is
Sorry.
always good.
Oh, okay. Then I'll add I used serrano peppers today to give you the heat. And so what I do is I layer my seasonings, and I will add a little bit of the garden vegetable. And it's just herbs. Very little sodium, very little salt. See how that's starting to cook up? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. That is really good. Now, if you don't have serrano peppers available, what else works? Jalapenos? Or?
Jalapeno. Maybe if you want to be brave and try a Scotch bonnet, that's too hot for me. You can do cayenne pepper.
Depends on what your palate can handle.
Right, or guess what? You don't even have to have any pepper.
Sure.
I thought I'd give us a little kick though.
All right.
And so those are cooking down. I'm
Okay.
going to turn this around. And I'm going to add my cabbage. And this will cook down.
Okay.
Ideally, a wok would, be better. But I don't think everybody owns a wok.
No, no.
So,
I don't own a wok. I like cooking my stir fry just like you're doing right there.
Oh, okay. Well, then this is
Yeah.
perfect. Dan likes this pan. This is the pan. Dan likes this pan.
I like the pan.
Let's get all of that in there. But I want to be neat. I don't want to be too messy. So
Yeah.
start cooking that down and let it cook.
That'll soften up a lot.
It'll
then,
soften
Get
up.
that oil mixed in.
Yep.
Yep.
All those flavors mixing around in there.
Yeah, it's coming
Yeah,
on just
there it
nicely.
is.
Very nice. It's almost like you're cooking a salad, it looks like, doesn't it?
Actually, it is like cooking a salad. All
Yeah.
of these healthy vegetables.
Yeah.
And this is something you can definitely add a protein to. When I made it for the neighbors, gave them a little treat, and I sauteed some chicken breast. But we're going to give TV World the
Okay.
healthy version, no protein. So this is definitely vegan. There was no animal fat, no butter. Butter is a friend of mine, but we're going to stick to the healthy
Okay.
version.
I like
So
that.
now I'll add this beautiful purple cabbage.
Love the purple cabbage. Yep.
Dan, we had purple cauliflower in the market this week. I've never seen purple cauliflower.
I've never heard of purple cauliflower. I was today years old when I found out about purple cauliflower. What's that taste like? Is it different than regular cauliflower?
I
or-
don't know, Dan. I don't know.
But there it is.
I thought about trying to do something with it, but I didn't want to experiment. So add this in here. And then we're going to move this out of the way so
Okay.
it's no longer a distraction.
Can I get this out of your way for you?
Yeah, let's just put all that on there.
There you go.
And so it's cooking down. This is a very quick dish.
Okay. It seems like it's cooking very fast.
It is.
Yeah.
I do need that seasoning back
Here
in.
comes the
We're not
seasoning
quite-
back. Sure, we're not done with the seasoning.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna add this. The kale is gonna be the last thing that we add.
Okay.
And so remember, I did add a little bit of seasoning salt to there, but there's very, very, very little salt in this recipe.
And that's good for people who need to be on a low sodium diet.
It's excellent for people who
Yeah.
need to be on a low sodium diet. You're absolutely correct.
But I love a good seasoning. Makes things pop. Makes things just add something a little bit extra.
Dan, you sure know the things to say, don't you? So that's cooked down significantly. And we'll actually put the top on it just a little bit to
Okay.
let a little steam come in.
Oh, yeah.
And in a few minutes, we're going to add the kale, and then we're going to see how you like it.
And it's ready to serve, just like that.
Absolutely.
That was really, really simple.
Yeah, it's really
Mixing
simple.
everything with the oil, and there you go.
And that's the whole idea for the neighbors or anyone. You want them to be able to do this at home.
Yeah.
You don't want them to see you do a whole bunch of steps, and then when they get home, they're like, nah, what did she do?
What you do? Well, the key here, too, is preparation. Preparation, preparation, preparation.
Absolutely.
Get your ingredients. I like how you set them out in little bowls. Everything was measured perfectly. So I think that's really key to making a good meal is
that's
preparation.
called mise en place. That's a term we learn in culinary school, and it means everything has a place.
Okay.
So then you're not running all around.
Yep. Organization. Yep.
See how that's cooked down?
Yeah.
So now I'm getting ready to add the kale.
Okay.
I packed it in that bowl, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Well,
I never have enough kale, right?
never have enough kale. I make kale chips.
Really? So what? In other words, what, you dry them out and?
I
work?
put a little olive oil on them and that same seasoning and a little salt and pepper, and then I put them in the oven. Well, if you're rushing, you put them in the air fryer, but you just have to watch it because you don't want them to char.
I see.
But you put them in the oven and they're really good.
Oh, really good, yeah.
Let's get all that good stuff down there. There it is.
And what's interesting, we've only been cooking this, or you've only been cooking this for about at least 10 minutes.
You can say we.
We. I help. I grab the bowl, I put stuff away.
Yep.
Sure, I'm helping.
Dan is helping. Dan is great.
Thank you, Holly.
Oh, Dan is great. You got to say that out.
No.
Oh, okay. You told me to.
No, you're making me red.
Okay.
Now I look like some of the food you put in there. It does look tasty, though.
Yeah. See, and it's very beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
And it's actually ready. Some people like their vegetables to get it more tender. I prefer crunchy vegetables. You don't remove all the vitamins and nutrients out of them.
And you can eat this, just pour it in a dish, pour it in a bowl, and just eat it straight like that.
And so this is a stir fry. We didn't use any teriyaki soy sauce. This was oil, herbs, and the vegetables is where you're getting your flavor from.
Okay.
And I think we're about ready.
All right.
Make sure every piece is covered with some oil and flavor. All right, Dan, you ready to taste this?
I am ready to taste.
All right. Let's turn that off.
It's exciting. It smells so good. All right.
Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Get you some from the bottom.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
There you have it.
All right. Whoa. Oh, no, there's the spice. Oh, wow. But not overly.
Not too much.
But a good spice.
Yeah, so you could heat that up or you could tone it down if you wanted to.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Holly, thank you so much. This is the spicy kale and cabbage stir fry.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. All right, we'll be back right after this with more food for thought. We're going to learn a little bit about nutrition coming up next.
Bye.
Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Alex Cohen, and I'm a community-based navigator for United Way of Greater Cleveland 211. United Way 211 is a service for everyone. If you have a need and you are not sure where to turn, please come visit us at the Greater Cleveland Foodbank's Community Resource Center or call 211 so we can work to connect you with the community resources you are seeking. United Way 211 is a free and confidential helpline that connects more than 150,000 community members to local experts each year, helping them secure food, housing, and utility assistance, reduce their prescription costs, support veterans assistance, and so much more. At United Way 211, we are committed to serving communities we call home. Whether the engagement with 211 starts with a phone call, chat, or an in-person visit, we'll help you assess your situation, provide information, and help you navigate whatever problems you're facing. Please reach out to us. We're here to help.
Greetings. I'm Hugh Littleton, Access Center Liaison for Cuyahoga Community College. On behalf of all of the great leaders in Cuyahoga Community College at large, Choice C Access Centers will connect you easily and conveniently with the education and job training you need to build a better future. The centers offer a range of services designed to meet you where you are: manufacturing technology, health industry solution programs, and many, many more. It is our good pleasure to serve. Welcome to Cuyahoga Community College and the Access Center, where futures begin.
Welcome back to Food for Thought. I'm Dan Monroe. Right now, we're talking nutrition, and joining us is our nutrition expert, Eric Pierkovitz of the Greater Cleveland Foodbank. Eric, thank you so much for joining me again.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, Dan.
Well, we have some stuff here. The first thing I want to talk about here is milk. Now, growing up, I've heard the slogans, milk, it does the body good, calcium is good for your bones, but what's the story behind milk? Is it really that good for you, or is there something else we should know about milk and other dairy products?
But like you said, right, it has nutrients to support your bone health. So calcium, as you mentioned, also vitamin D, which is usually
Vitamin D is very
fortified. So that means they're adding it in. But that's still better, better than having to take a pill for it.
And what is vitamin D good for?
It works with the calcium to improve your bone density, I think would be the way to say it. Yeah. Building more structure inside your bones so they're sturdier.
Okay. And even to this day as an adult, I still love milk. If I'm thirsty, I'll pour myself a glass of milk. I don't care. I love it. It's just, it really is good for you, I think. I just love milk.
It's also a good source of protein, which dairy protein has all the amino acids that are essential, meaning the ones that our bodies can't make. And I guess to put amino acids into context, that's the different parts of proteins, so helping with building muscle and repairing and healing.
All right. So it really does a body good. Milk.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be cow milk, though.
No? What kind of milk are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, not everybody drinks dairy, whether it's an allergy or a choice. So I would suggest in that case, the mainstream soy milks tend to be nutritionally similar as far as they have a good source of protein as well. They're usually fortified also with the calcium and the vitamin D.
And almond milk the same as well?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
It's usually very low in protein.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, one thing I also like to go along with milk, and another great slogan is the incredible edible egg. I love cooking with eggs. I like it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What can you tell me about eggs? What's the hidden power inside eggs?
Eggs are great, and I'm glad we have them in the market right now. They're a good source of protein too, and again, it's a complete protein when we talk about those amino acids. It also has a nice blend of fats, so the eggs have gotten a bad rap over the years, for having cholesterol and saturated fat, and some people felt confused as the more we study them, we go back and forth with the recommendations, more or less. Bottom line, I think, an egg, having an egg a day or maybe two, don't go crazy with it, We don't need to make a 5-egg omelet. If your doctor's not giving you specific guidance to reduce that, I think that's sensible.
Now, when you cook an egg, when you hard-boil an egg, there's 1,001 ways to prepare an egg. Do you lose any of those nutrients as you're cooking, or does it all stay there? Or does it mostly cook away, or?
You always have the potential to lose some nutrients in a cooking process. There's also opportunities to improve the nutrient availability to your body.
Okay.
So different nutrients and different foods work different ways.
All right.
I'd also point out for those that have a cast iron skillet, iron's something that quite a few Americans aren't getting enough iron. So cooking in a cast iron skillet helps increase the iron in the food you're cooking.
I didn't know that. That's a good tip. I didn't know that. Well, finally, we have what many people call the superfood, and that's kale.
Yeah.
Why do they call this a superfood?
Why not?
Why not?
But I know Holly prepared a nice tasty dish with it earlier. And yeah, she's mentioned, I think, it's got lots of micronutrients. So vitamins like vitamin K, vitamin C, it's got potassium, and more. And it can help with bone health too. It can also help with heart health. It can help with your immune system, which your immune system is basically your body's coordinated efforts to resist disease. It's flu season, right?
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I know.
Foods like this can help you stay healthy.
And Holly said she even makes kale chips with these. I'm guessing that's a really much better alternative than your regular potato chips too, huh?
Oh, for sure. A lot more nutrient rich.
One thing about kale is you can, after you wash it, eat it right out of the bag. You eat it raw, right?
Yeah, you can make
a little
salads
snack.
with
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's fantastic. Kale. Eric, thank you so much. We always learn a lot of great nutritional facts from you, and you didn't disappoint this time. Thank you so much. And we'll be back with more food for thought and another dish right after this.
The Greater Cleveland Food Bank exists to ensure that our neighbors has access to the nutritious food that they need every day. In addition to the distribution efforts in our 6-county footprint, we have a call center where you can give us a call to locate where you can access food. That number is 216-738-2067. A friendly associate is available Monday through Fridays, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. to answer your call. We've also opened up a new community resource center as we want to address hunger and poverty through collaboration. In addition to access to food, you will also have the opportunity to receive services from 15 other nonprofit organizations and more. We're available some evenings and weekends. You can find that information on our website by visiting www.greaterclevelandfoodbank.org, and we ask that you follow us on our social media platforms. If you're not in need of food assistance but want to give back and volunteer, we'd love to have you at our partner distribution hub on Coit or our Community Resource Center on South Waterloo. We look forward to serving you.
Hi, my name is Brenda, and I'm the Community Engagement Associate at Towards Employment. We service neighbors here in the Community Resource Center by getting them connected to workforce development opportunities and jobs. We service neighbors all across Cleveland that are 18 years of age or older, live within Cuyahoga County, and are looking for connection. We can help with job opportunities, connection to other resources, and general career pathway development. You can get in contact with me at 216-696-5750 or via the internet at towardsemployment.org.
And welcome back to Food for Thought. I'm Dan Monroe. Of course, we're here at the Training Kitchen at the Community Resource Center of the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. And joining me now, Miss Jamie Smith, our chef for the hour. Jamie, what are we making today?
I am going to do a butternut squash macaroni cheese. Now that we're getting ready for the Thanksgiving season, I thought this would be a nice comfort dish, but it's a little nicer on your waistline as well.
I like butternut squash, I like macaroni and cheese, but I never thought about combining the two together. Where did you come up with this recipe from?
So I actually tried it a few years back at a holiday party that I went to for a job that I was working at, and I really liked it. The butternut squash acts like just a hint of sweetness that you wouldn't normally expect in a macaroni and cheese, but it also gives you that beautiful creaminess, but without like all of the butter and the flour and the million cheeses like we would normally use in a traditional macaroni and cheese.
Okay, well, let's talk about the ingredients we have here.
So we've got a Kobe Jack cheese here. We've got a little Swiss shredded as well, some finely diced onion, a little olive oil. Then we've got a Velveeta cheese blend that'll also give us that creaminess along with the squash. We've got our butternut squash, a little salt and pepper blend that we're going to roast our butternut squash in. And then we've got this seasoned blend, which is just salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder that we're going to put in our actual cheese sauce.
Okay.
A little bit of Dijon mustard, which is a surprise, but it gives it a nice hint.
Okay.
And then we're going to finish with a little bit of fresh parsley. Oh, and of course our milk and our already cooked pasta as well.
Can't do it without the elbow macaroni, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, how do we start?
All right, so first we are going to get our onions sauteing, and I diced them really fine so that they would not only cook faster, but also once we cook down our butternut squash and our onions, we will have to puree it in order to get it to that creamy texture of like a macaroni and cheese. So cooking the onions smaller just helps to like break everything down once you go to blend it. All right, so while those are sauteing, I am gonna get my butternut squash in the oven roasting. I also chopped these up kind of, not fine, but similar size and smaller so that they would roast in about 10 minutes or so. I'm going to
Is it easy to cut into a butternut squash, or does that take some time?
It is not. What I recommend, I wish I would have had a whole one, but they come like with the ball on the end and then it's like a longer part. I like to cut that ball off and then work with the top end. So like you can either take a grater or a knife and just shave off the skin, and then that top part is all squash, so you can get nice even chunks. The bottom is where you'll find your seeds, so you kind of have to like split it down the middle, scoop out everything, and then get all the rest of the good stuff out. So I'm gonna add a little oil to our butternut squash, and then just a little bit of salt and pepper, and then give it a quick toss, and we're gonna toss this in the oven for about, like I said, 8 to 10 minutes so it can soften up.
And Jamie, while you're preparing the rest of this, so we got some already made up?
Yeah, we have some that was already roasted.
Jamie, tell me a bit about yourself and how you got connected with the Greater Cleveland Food Bank.
Yeah, so I actually work for PATH Behavioral Health Care. We offer mental health services in the Cleveland area. We offer therapists, case managers, as well as, nursing and MedSom, which is just like medication management. So we have nurse practitioners and psychologists on staff as well. I'm the office manager there, but then I also do community engagement. So I come places like the Foodbank to help build referral partners and just to tell the community a little bit about what PATH offers. Prior to me working for PATH, I actually worked for Tri-C for about 9 years, and that's where I went to culinary school.
They have a good culinary school over there. I do know that.
It is amazing. It is amazing. The Hospitality Management Center. I love that place. So I got my culinary degree there and actually started a catering company right when COVID hit. And so I kind of did that for a few years and just made my way back to the mental health world. And I love the Food Bank because I've been able to kind of combine those two things together. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Perfect.
So this is one of my favorite places. So what I just did while we were talking is added the butternut squash that I had already roasted to that onion mixture. And we're just gonna let that cook down, mix it in a little bit, and next we're gonna add our milk after that. And what we're gonna do is bring that milk up to like a light simmer. And then go ahead and blend everything up and make it nice and smooth. I'm also going to add right now, this is probably about a teaspoon, tablespoon. I add about half of that Dijon mustard.
It's got I like Dijon mustard with that.
It just has like a hint, and not too much, you know what I mean? A little goes a long way with that, so you don't have to worry about using too much. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of my spice blend, which I said is the salt and pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And this is just gonna give some good flavor to our cheese sauce, our squash cheese sauce.
And I couldn't help but notice you at least mentioned 3 different types of cheeses.
Yeah, so
macaroni and cheese, the cheesier the better, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, with this one, if you like a stronger or a funkier cheese, I mean, you can go as wild as you want to. I've done it with goat cheese. This one we're using, like I said, the Kobe Jack mix, the Swiss, and a little bit of Velveeta. I always use Velveeta in whatever, even if I'm doing a butternut squash, because it just, I know it's not that great for you, but it just gives that creaminess that everybody wants when they're eating a macaroni and cheese. All right, so now here comes the fun part. I'm gonna go ahead and use my immersion blender to blend all of this up. If you do not have an immersion blender, you can definitely just pour this into like a NutriBullet or your regular blender that you would use to make smoothies. Or you could also just take a potato masher. I'm making a mess. You could take a potato masher and just mash that butternut squash up. And then mix it all in that way.
I like using the potato masher because it reminds me of how our ancestors did it in the olden days before they had things like this by hand.
And even if you didn't have a potato masher, I mean, I've used the glass. Like I've used a mug, a glass. Just
anything.
Anything
to smash it down. Sure.
Anything you would use to mash potatoes.
It's creative.
So you're just gonna take and move that all around, get all your butternut squash all blended, get this nice and creamy, your onions blended up in there. And then at that point, you could also, if you want, I'm gonna add a little bit more milk here. Because I know that when I go to add my cheese, it's gonna thicken it up as well.
It does like to splatter though, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Clean it up a little bit later. Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, so I think we got a good consistency there. Now we can go ahead and add our cheese. I'm gonna start with our Velveeta. And I'm gonna add half of this first, and then if we need to add a little bit more,
Okay,
we
depending
can.
on how creamy you like it, right?
Yep. I'm also gonna turn the heat down a little bit because you don't want your cheese to burn or stick to the bottom. So I'll turn it to a medium-low heat and let all of that get melty, schmelty. I'm gonna add my Swiss necks. And also when you're adding cheeses, the smaller you cut it, just like with the onions or the squash, the smaller the better because it will melt faster.
Okay.
You know, if you put a big lump of log of cheese in there, then
It'll take a long time to melt down, sure.
Exactly. So I'm gonna put one of these Kobe's in here. And the other one we're gonna save for when we pop it in the oven.
What's your personal favorite kind of cheese?
That's a good question. I'm a cheese girl. I think I love them all. I do a lot of, in my catering, a lot of like grazing and charcuterie tables. So I tried lots of different cheeses. I love brie.
Oh, I love brie,
I love the funkier ones. I'm a big goat cheese. I like the spreadable, you know, like the goat cheese. And I like blue cheese too, believe it or not. I mean, I love all cheese. I gotta be honest.
I was once at a party this summer and someone brought in, what's that? The stinky cheese. And they not Munster, but it's a Limburger cheese.
Yeah, that one is really funky. Now that's more funky than I could.
I happen to like it.
Do you?
Maybe I'm crazy, but I like the Limburger cheese.
Did you have it like
smoky,
on cracker?
On a cracker, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely need something to tone that down. So now you see we're getting that nice cheesy texture that we love. We're just waiting for a few more blocks of that Velveeta to melt down, and then we can go ahead and add our pasta to that.
Okay. Oh, nice and creamy, yep.
Yep. But not as much cheese. Like I said, when I make this for the holidays, normally for my family, you know, I do the traditional way. So I'll make a roux with, you know, butter and flour. And I'm doing like 5 different cheeses plus the pasta and, you know, the heavy cream and the milk. And this is a way to cut all of that. I mean, we don't have any butter in this recipe, no flour, you know, just 3 types of cheeses instead of your regular 5 or 6, you know what I mean? And also, if you wanted, to make this an even more healthier dish, you could, in lieu of the regular enriched white flour pasta, you can use wheat pasta as well, which is better for your fiber. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix our pasta in here and just fold that in. Make sure all of your pasta noodles get coated evenly.
Is that the one key to making good macaroni and cheese is to keep stirring so nothing settles, nothing burns on the bottom?
Right, because cheese burns fast.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, and that's an expensive product, so you don't want to waste it. And you don't want that scorched taste on your macaroni and cheese. So you got it all mixed in. I've got my oven on 400 because everything is cooked, so all we want is just for the cheese to get nice and bubbly on top. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of the Kobe, and then we're gonna pop this in the oven.
All right. And that's just for maybe, what you said, 8-10 minutes?
I would say, yeah, no more than 10 minutes.
No more than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
let
you
it
just
melt
want to
off,
get a
melt away.
nice brown on the top like
Which
we
is,
did
that's what it looks like. Okay.
And now I'm gonna grab a plate so I can see how this is. And this recipe was fairly quick too. I mean,
very quick.
I think about 30 minutes tops from start to beginning.
And very
and
easy.
one thing I forgot, I mean, if you want to get fancy schmancy, you can top it, you know, if you're serving with a little bit of fresh parsley rather.
Okay.
Just to give it a little color and a little beauty. So there you are.
Butternut squash, macaroni and cheese.
Now let me know how it compares to your regular traditional macaroni and cheese.
I can taste that cheese, the different cheeses. It's creamy, but not overly thick. Oh, it's very good. Oh, it's very good, yeah. I like this. Very good recipe. Jamie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For
Thank
this
you
great
for having
mac and
me.
cheese recipe. And I want to thank you for watching Food for Thought. I'm Dan Monroe. Remember, always cook often and cook healthy. We'll see you next time.